Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to SoulSpace Podcast. Today, we're going to stay with our love theme for the month. And we're going to talk about loving yourself through forgiveness today, and a little bit too about forgiving others. It all helps you feel better. You feel more whole, more loving, able to love others when we forgive ourselves and others. So we'll talk about all of it.
Yes, absolutely. I think one of the most important things about forgiveness is releasing your emotional burdens.
Right.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of people talk about like I have so much baggage. Well,
Yeah.
why don't we set some of that down? You
Yeah.
know,
We
feels
carry
really,
it with us every day, right?
yeah, you don't need to carry it around anymore. You don't need to carry it around. It doesn't need to be your story anymore. And that's what's magical about forgiveness is it makes you feel lighter. It helps boost your energy. Helps you to let go of the things that are no longer serving you.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, it's about moving forward. And that's one thing that we're always talking about and we're always helping people do is to continue motion forward in your life towards the things that you want. And forgiveness is a big piece of that.
Sure is. I love the motion forward theme. Yeah. There's the saying about the rear view mirror. If if you're always looking in the rear view mirror, you're not seeing what's ahead of you. So, we need to learn to just let that stuff go. It made us who we are and be grateful for that, the things that happened in our past, and hopefully learn the lessons to move forward. But we don't have to carry all of that baggage with us, year after year after year, and then wonder why we're not moving forward. Right? Yeah.
Right. Take the lessons
Yeah.
and take the learning and take the growth that you got through that difficult whatever it was
Yeah.
and set the rest of it down. I mean, the rest of it is just, you know, holding you back. It's not something that's helping you anymore. And so forgiveness is going to be a cool topic today. We have a few different things that we really want to go over with you. And it'll be exciting because through forgiving yourself and others, forgiving yourself is one thing people really forget about. And it's actually something that's super important because we all have done things that we're like, oh man, I wish I hadn't have done that. Or,
Right.
if I could go back and change it, I would. Or I hurt somebody unintentionally. Or maybe I did something intentionally. Then I was like, wow, I can't believe I did that,
Uh,
out of anger or something. Because we're none of us are perfect. We're all a work in progress.
yeah.
And so it's important to remember that you, just like everyone else, you're worth forgiving. And it's worth it to forgive yourself so that you can continue to move forward and not bring the same story forward over and over again,
Hmm.
which is no longer the story that you want to bring with you going forward.
Yeah. So, so true. Um, when we can forgive ourselves, especially, a- and for things that we did when we were younger, that, you were young and dumb, or, whatever. Everybody does things when they were younger that they didn't realize what they were doing, for one thing, or how it would affect others, mostly, so why linger on that, and why keep judging that up and keep going over it and over, and or not forgiving yourself for the dumb things you did when you were younger. Everyone does it, but some people get over that and move forward and some people don't, and that's the sad thing about it. If you can't forgive yourself and move ahead, then you're always going to be drudging that up along the way. And if you can just forgive yourself, okay, that happened. Well, I can't do anything about it now. So, what's the best thing I can do is forgive myself and start new. Every day you can start a fresh page, a fresh book, whatever, and move forward without that baggage. So, yeah.
And it's about making a decision. It's about
Yeah.
deciding.
Yeah.
It's deciding that I have decided that I'm worth forgiving,
Yeah.
and I have decided to forgive myself
Yeah.
and start that energy moving forward of, okay, I've decided to forgive myself and start letting that go, start letting that stuff go, start letting that energy go. We'll talk about a couple different things that you can do, like techniques that you can use to kind of really help you bring that energy of forgiving yourself into like physical reality. So there'll be a couple things we'll talk about with that.
Yeah.
But it's really important to make that decision, decide. I have decided to forgive myself, or I've decided to forgive others.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever it is that you feel like that comes to mind when you say that,
Right.
I finally decided to let that go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to read these few questions that we have written down here that you can ask yourself. You can do it as we go along. Maybe if you have a paper and pen, you can write them down and write your answers down, and you'll feel a lot better when you know what is really hanging out there, that you need to forgive or that you need to let go of. So, the first one is, what does forgiveness mean to me and why is it important in my life? For me, it is moving forward is the most important thing for forgiveness, because if you don't forgive, you can't move on with, you know, you can move on, but you're still going to be stuck in that same place. And you're always going to have that judgment or regret or, angst within yourself that, you'll carry with you if you don't forgive
Right?
first.
It'll continue to be a trigger
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you, and it'll come up over and over again. So it's about letting that energy go, so then it's no longer a trigger for you and it doesn't continue to define your story.
Yeah. Yeah. The next thing you can maybe jot down is, who do I need to forgive and what emotions are holding me back from doing so? So if there are people in your past, even like um an old teacher that said something to you that is stuck in your head, or a parent that said something and they probably didn't mean it in the moment, or they didn't mean it the way you heard it, or it can be so many different things, or a friend that you got mad at in grade school that you're still hanging on to, or whatever it is. Think about those people and then go back and you can forgive them now. And whether they know it doesn't matter. It's doing it for you and for your heart to move forward. So just jot down some names of things that happen in your past that you need to forgive those people and do that. And you can make up a little prayer or just say, I forgive you for all the things that happened between us, or whatever that is. And, maybe write them a letter. You don't have to mail it, but just the act of writing it. And we've talked about that before, writing it down and or writing a letter to someone, and it just gets that out of your head, out of your emotions, and it frees you. It really frees you from that energy.
Right,
Anything
absolutely.
you have to think or talk about on that one?
When you talked about the letter piece of it, since most of the time you're not going to want to send that letter, you just want to get your stuff out.
Yeah.
One thing that tends to really help people is to destroy it in some way,
Yeah.
to release that energy of all of those things. And it's part of the act of letting go. It helps you like physically to let go.
Yeah.
Burning it is really helpful, tearing it to pieces, shredding it.
Yeah.
Some people will even stick it in the freezer to kind of let the energy and the emotions die down and then destroy it, a little time later.
Yeah.
There's lots of different ways to do it. Just kind of pick a way that feels best to you, of like, how can I release this and it would feel really good.
It it does. And that is true too. It releases that energy of it so well to I like to shred things or burn them in the bonfire, whatever. It really is a physical way and emotional way and energetic way to do that. So yeah, I
Yeah,
love it. Yeah.
absolutely. I think my favorite way to do things like that is to burn it and then kind of like bury the ashes a little bit in the earth. Let the earth
That's
like
good.
redistribute that energy. You know, the earth is a wonderful transmuter, and so
Yeah.
I like to do that. It's my favorite.
Yeah. The next one is how has holding on to the resentment or anger affected my mental, emotional, and physical well-being? So think about the things that have held you back because of that. And same thing, you could write those down and shred that and be done with it, or burn it or whatever. Um, but thinking about those and now you'll probably realize how petty that was to hang on to it or how that was affecting you that you didn't realize it was. Yeah.
Right,
So
absolutely. I'm sorry, I keep looking over my mother's cat, Henry, is climbing all over stuff in my craft room over here. So I'm just making sure she doesn't, flip something on her head or something. So I am listening, and of course, I'm always engaged in what we're doing, but at the same
yeah,
time, I'm making sure she doesn't hurt herself.
you're okay.
But I really like the
Life.
idea of, um, writing down those things of how it affected you so you can let it go.
Yeah.
Because that's also a part of like, wow, it's affected me in all these different ways, but now I've decided to let that go. So I can let that story go too of how it affected me in the past so that I, moving forward, know that it's not going to continue to affect me in that same way. So I really like that idea of writing it down so you can let that go too. That's a really good idea, Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the next one is what steps can I take to begin the process of forgiveness, even if I'm not ready to fully forgive yet? Um, that, we make it harder than it has to be a lot of times, right? And there are some things that maybe you think aren't forgivable, but when you realize how much it's hurting you and not them, um, then you probably will decide that you can forgive at least a little bit, you know. And forgiveness doesn't mean that you are agreeing with the things that happened that you did or someone else did. It's just letting go of that energy and that blame game, that is holding you back. And that's all it is. It's only going to help you to forgive. And
Right.
it,
And it's like you said, I really like how you put that because you're not condoning anything that happened or how it affected you or how you affected others or any of that. You're not minimizing what happened, but what you're doing is you're saying, I'm ready to finally let that part of my story go so that I can create a new one. I can create the one that I want
yeah,
and that it's time to just let it go. Like I learned a lot. I'm never going to do something like that again.
yeah,
Or, I'm not going to put myself in that situation I was in again. And I'm letting it go so I can create my story the way that I want.
yeah,
That's what you're doing. It's like you're saying, okay, that's not going to be in any control or have any power over my life anymore. That's what forgiveness is. It's taking back your power, empowering yourself
hmm
to create your story. That's what it is.
yeah, yeah. So good. And so important to do to help release that energy. Just know that it's not, even though you don't agree with it, it's okay to forgive still. It doesn't mean that it was okay, whatever. It's just so good to release the energy of it and forgive. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Set down that baggage.
Yeah. Set
Set it
that
down.
bag down. That suitcase. Sometimes that trunk, you
Yeah,
know.
right. Exactly. That trunk and then the giant travel backpack that you have on top of it.
Right. Um, okay, last one on our list here is how can I practice self-forgiveness and let go of the guilt or shame I might be carrying? So we kind of talked about that already. Um, just by doing it, just by, like we said, write a letter, um, write down some names, do those things that are going to help you release that energy. Just just forgive and go. Forgive and
Right.
let. Yeah.
Right. And one thing that I like to do is a visualization. And maybe we can even do one today because that's one of my favorite things to do is to really visualize because that makes it real. And so when we're talking about wanting to forgive yourself for things, is to imagine you and that person or people that you hurt through that action.
Yeah.
Um, Imagining you and them having a conversation, you telling them what it is that you need to tell them about what happened or why or whatever it is you need to get out about it
Mm.
and asking them to forgive you and seeing them say that they do forgive you and you can release that energetic bond from each other that way. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to do that too because that also makes it more real for yourself and it really helps you to release that energy, that negative energy that has been built up through that guilt that you've had about something that you did. Or, it can, or if somebody hurt you, it helps to really release that energy so then you're not pulling that along with you anymore.
Yeah.
It's a really nice way to do that too. So like the letter's a good thing. And that's really similar. So if writing is good and you're not much of a person that visualizes things, do that, that's a really good technique. But if you are a visual person, that this can be a really useful technique. And I am. I I really am a visual person and I see things so clearly in my head. So
Yeah.
for
Do,
me, it's really effective.
yeah. Should we do that now with everybody?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love this technique. And you can do it in several different ways. Um, this one that's really simple, maybe we'll forgive ourselves for something in this one because it's really about loving yourself this month for us, right?
Yeah.
And so why not let go of one of our burdens that we have at the moment?
Yeah.
So um, I want all of you to think about um, one thing in your life that you would really like to let go of and forgive yourself for.
Okay.
And I don't want you to really dwell on it. I just want you to think of the instance because I know some things come to mind for you. I just want you to think about that instance. I want you to think about just let's do one person in this one. Let's just do one. We'll make it short. And you can always do this again on your own with however many people you want, but we're just going to do one person. So think of the one person that you really want to say you're sorry to. You really want to release any negative energy between the two of you. And you want to ask their forgiveness for what happened, for hurting them in whatever way that this situation did. So bring that to mind now, and then we'll
And,
go.
and it can be yourself, right?
Can be yourself, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Visualize yourself at whatever age it was
Right.
that you, you did this one thing.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Tracy. I like both. So whatever comes to mind, whether it's yourself or another person, um, we're gonna work on that forgiveness because in this, you are forgiving yourself, or you're getting forgiven by another person while you're getting out the stuff that's gonna help you begin to forgive yourself too. Sometimes it's easier to feel forgiven by somebody else than it is to forgive yourself. So
Yeah.
whichever way that you want to do this first time is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do it wrong. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. All right. So we're just gonna why don't we just all take a deep breath together? Just take a deep breath in and out. And do one more. In and out. And I just want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think of either the person that you want to speak to or yourself. I want you to visualize yourself and that other person or that other version of you in a big space. So, however that space looks, no matter what color it is, how big it is, how small it is, I always visualize myself just kind of like in a energetic meeting space. So, whatever that looks like to you when you think about where am I going to visualize that space, just bring yourself there and see yourself standing there and see the other person standing in front of you. I want you to address that other person, whether it's the other person or the version of yourself. I want you to greet them. And then I want you to speak to them. And I want you to say, whether it's in your head or out loud, whatever works for you with for wherever you're at, I want you to speak to them and tell them what you want to know about the situation. Tell them your side of the story. Tell them about the emotions that you're feeling. Tell them what you want them to understand. Tell them what's important for you to get off of your chest so that they know exactly what you're going through, what you felt. Release your burdens to that other person or that other version of yourself. Tell them everything that you want them to know, and we'll sit here for a minute so you have time to do that. Now that you've gotten those things off of your chest, I want you to ask the other person or the other version of you to forgive you. I want you to hear them say, "Yes, I forgive you." And I want you to take your hands. I want you to imagine that you're giving that other person all of their energy back. Hand it to them with your hands. And then see that other person or that other version of you and have them take their hands and give you all of your energy back as well. And bring that energy into your heart. And with that energy that they returned to you, your energy, it makes you more whole again. You feel that love and that forgiveness in that energy, knowing that you're no longer burdened by guilt. You let it all go, and they've let it all go. And you both have your energy back so that you're more whole, more connected to yourself, and happier, knowing that those burdens have now been set down. I want you to smile at the other person and wave at them goodbye and say thank you. And then you can see them walk away and you can bring yourself back into this room. Beautiful. Good job, you guys. That's
That was
sometimes
awesome.
it can be really tough work, and sometimes it can be really beautiful work, and sometimes it's both.
Yeah, it was really good.
Wow.
Mhm.
I don't even under my legs while we were doing that. She likes the energy work, that's for
Energy,
sure.
yeah, yeah, that's good.
All of a sudden, I hear underneath my legs. I was like, "What's happening?" It's the kitty. What are you doing down there, you silly goose? I get distracted by cats and
That's
dogs. I love them so much. She's such a sweetheart.
yeah, that's awesome.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's just a really simple technique. You can use it in any type of situation, with anyone, with yourself, with other people. It's really just kind of a useful visualization, really simple. Um, and a quick version of that too. So you don't have to delve into a thousand things to begin the process, you know?
Yeah, I'm sidetracked. I'm looking for this really good quote, and I can't think of it right now about forgiveness.
Well, while you look for that, another thing is think of forgiveness for yourself and others as a version of self-care. People talk about self-care a lot, and sometimes it can be kind of like oh, I hear that word all the time, but it's so important to take care of yourself. And part of that is releasing the burdens that are holding you back. And part of it is getting more comfortable and loving towards yourself and being able to forgive yourself, being able to forgive others is such a huge piece of that, and allowing yourself to um, feel more love again, to feel more love for yourself, to feel more love towards others, to be able to open yourself again after, trauma, is to finally let go of those burdens. So you're like, okay, I feel like I can move on
Mhm.
towards the love for myself and the love towards others that I've wanted. Because
Yeah,
we all want that. We all want to feel more love for ourselves. We all want to feel love for other people. We all want to receive love that's positive. And so this is a big piece of being able to bring that type of energy back into your life by letting go of the negative energy that's been part of your story for so long.
yeah, yeah. The quote that I was trying to think of is forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. And that's a Mark Twain um quote. So Yeah, I love it.
Talk about a beautiful visual, you know,
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
poignant.
yeah. Good, good. So what else? Oh, there is a Catherine Ponder exercise too that is really good.
Oh,
I'll grab my book quick and read it. And we can go through that. It's a really, really fun one to do. Well, not fun. I shouldn't say fun, but it can be fun. It feels good afterwards. Hang
well,
on.
I mean, that's really the point, isn't it? It doesn't have to be fun, but it useful
Yeah.
and feeling good afterwards. Beauteous. And one thing to remember too is that forgiveness is an ongoing practice. It's not something that's a one and done. Sometimes you need to do a technique a couple of times to feel like you've let go of all of that energy or all of the triggers or all of the emotions that come with all of that. And so just remember, you can do something more than once on the
Yeah,
same time.
right.
Or you can do it once and feel like you're done too. It just, everybody's different. Everybody has different reactions. Everybody has different levels of emotion and things that are tied to stuff. So just be gentle with yourself
Mhm.
and allow yourself to kind of take it in the way that works for you. And just know that it's okay if it's not one and done.
Yeah,
And that would be totally normal, right? We're all different.
right.
It could go either way. And so just be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to have the time and the space to get where you want to go.
Yeah. And even to you can go a little deeper with your forgiveness by using tapping or freedom release method. And that will even go a level deeper if you do some releases like that, on the same topic or about the same thing that you're forgiving. Yeah, so the Catherine Ponder, if you haven't heard of her, and I'm not sure if she's living or passed right now, but she was pretty old when I found out about her, but um she is was really active in the Unity faith, and she wrote a few books, and one that I have this in, it's actually in my Reiki manual. When I took Reiki level 2, it's in there. So, anyway, it's based on her work, and it's just called the release procedure. And you just speak the name of someone that you want to forgive, and it kind of helps release any like energy suckers or psychic hooks or just grudges or any of that stuff that you want to forgive and let go of. So you just say the person's name 3 times, and then you say, I fully and freely release you. I release you and let go to the and let you go to let divine creator do the perfect work in, through, and as you. I am free and you are free, and all is cleansed between us now and forever. So, and then you do it as that person is saying it to you. So they would say your name 3 times, and you're just visualizing it, like kind of like what we did, Chris, or with you. And then you say, you fully and freely release me. You release me and let me go to let divine creator do the perfect work in, through, and as me. I am free and you are free, and all is cleansed between us now and forever. And then you do it one more time with the same, speaking in the I tense, you're saying it to them again. So it's just so good, and really you can feel a difference that you've taken your energy back and they've taken their energy back. Even though they don't have to do it with you, you can do it on your own, and you're still forgiving them. So It's
And doing it energetically is
right.
so powerful because even if they're not physically with you,
Yeah,
you're still you're still doing that energy work, and that's super powerful.
yeah,
Super powerful.
really is. So that's one that I've used quite a bit with clients and myself, and it's worked really well. So
I love that.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. It can be helpful to have something like that that you say
yeah,
each time. You know, ritual, they say ritual is one thing that helps make things real for people.
yeah,
And to have that ritual saying and to feel it and to be it and to have those words to say. So you don't, you know, if you want to be able to make up your own words, that's perfect. But if you want words to say for like, I'm not really sure what to say, that would be such a perfect thing for people to do, to have that little ritual that feels good to them.
right. Yeah, so good. Anything else that you can see on here to talk about? Um, the benefits, some of the benefits of forgiveness, it can really help reduce your stress and improve your relations, increase emotional well-being, and a greater sense of inner peace and happiness. And, you know, you it's the only way you can really move forward is to release that stuff. And it really is so freeing for your whole being. You'll you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner, right?
Yeah.
And we've been through all of that kind of stuff. When you start working on yourself, you go through those things, um and there's no better time to start than now, right? If you have never done this kind of work before, it's amazing you can accomplish when you do some of the work. And no one can do it for you. That's the hardest part for most people. You want to be fixed by everybody else, by somebody else. You don't want to do the work, right? But you have to do the work, and you'll get way better results. You'll get results actually.
Right. Results are important, right?
Yeah.
And we all want that. So, and it's really important to think about um by doing the work. And the work can only, it doesn't even have to be long. Like, what do we do? 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, maybe
Yeah.
five total with
Yeah.
our thing. And everybody has 5 minutes
Yeah.
to let go of something that's been bothering them for years and years and years, most likely. And so doing the work doesn't have to be hard. It
No.
can be easy, and you can just allow yourself to do it for yourself. And the work really isn't about doing the work.
Mhm.
The work is about taking back your power as a conscious creator of your life.
Yeah.
I'm bringing back my energy
Yeah.
and I'm claiming my power, and that no situation, person, place, thing, or things that I have done
Mhm.
have power over me.
Right.
That's what you're doing with this type of work. How wonderful is that? It's so
Yeah.
empowering. It's like, yes, I did that. Yes, I can forgive myself. Yes, I love myself a little bit more for letting myself let go of that stuff that's been holding me down and weighing me down. And doesn't it feel good to allow myself to feel lighter and to love myself a little bit more and to love myself enough to start this work?
Hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And it's such a great gift to yourself, and to start that self-care and self-love. Um, you'll be amazed at yourself, at your lovely self. Yeah.
Right. And
So
it's Valentine's Day this week.
great. Yeah.
What a perfect time to open yourself up to a little bit more love, a little bit more self-love,
Yeah.
and to let go of your burdens so that you can feel a little bit more free and happy and excited for the next couple of days. Even if you're doing nothing and you're by yourself, you love yourself a little bit more. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What a
Yeah.
beautiful gift.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful gift to give yourself.
It's the perfect gift for yourself for Valentine's Day for sure. And
Yes.
any day that you want to do.
Any day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any day and every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is an ongoing thing, there's gonna be stuff that comes up down the road that you're gonna think, oh, I should forgive that, or I should forgive myself for that, or I really forgot to forgive that person, or, I never did really forgive them for doing whatever it was. You know, just do it. It like we just proved, it only takes a few minutes to do it, and it makes a world of difference.
Right. And if you do the one that you just talked about, Tracy, it takes less than a couple of minutes,
Yeah, yeah,
really.
yeah. It's so good. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, any last words?
I would say allow yourself to move towards freedom.
Right. Yeah.
That's all we're all really wanting, when you think when it boils down to the brass tacks, what we're all asking for, what we're all really wanting is the freedom to live our lives the way that we want. And this is one of the steps to that.
Yeah.
So let yourself move forward towards
Yeah.
more freedom to love yourself, love others, and to be more fully yourself without the burdens that are no longer serving you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so good. Um, so we hope you will give yourself this gift for Valentine's Day this week, and do a little work, and you'll feel so, so good for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I hope you try all these things that we talked about today.
Mhm.
And like you said, bring in some of the tools that we've been teaching you over the past year or so, more
Yeah.
than a year, but I mean year or so. I don't know. I don't know how long exactly. 80 some weeks.
80, yeah,
Um
83 weeks.
83 weeks. Go back and use some of the tools along with this.
Yeah.
84 weeks.
This,
Hey. Use some of the tools along with this to really amp up the energy release and the release from your subconscious and the release from your physical body with tapping. Um, because the more that you do, the more that you'll feel better and the more that good things can make their way to you and your life can be happier and you can enjoy more and you can just feel more and more like your true self. And who doesn't want that? I
yeah,
want that.
I do too. Yeah. And I just thought of something. We could do a quick fill up and just feel good, and this would be a good thing to do. You could do a round of tapping on feeling good about forgiveness, but we'll do a fill up. So just take a deep breath in. I'm so happy, thankful, and grateful that I forgave the past and forgave myself, forgave others, and it feels so good. And I truly adore and love myself. My tongue tied. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll breathe that one in too.
Right. Yeah. So good. So go have an awesome Valentine's Day this week. Love yourself and love somebody else too. Carissa, where can we find you on
You
the
can find me on Facebook at Light of Hope Healing. You can also find us collectively on Facebook at Our Soul Space. You can find me on our YouTube channel, which is at Soul Space Podcast. If you're watching us somewhere else, if you're on YouTube, then you know where to find us, which is great. And I'm still working on my soon to be very beautiful website as well. Tracy, if people are looking for you, where could they connect with you more?
You can find me at inspiredsignals.com and Inspired Signals on Facebook and Instagram.
Love it.
Yeah, all my links are on my website. So that's it.
Easy peasy, inspiringly easy.
Yeah, yeah. I like easy. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.